I thought about lying. We were both looking for pieces of the past that we recognize,
excavating our dreams for memories we could relate to, unforgiving as it was. Patches of our lifetime became a cabin full of old souls, and our hearts were giants,
constantly confused with giants. Father, the name I've called you for the last 5 years because you left the word dad tasting bitter to me, so that I could never quite give it to a man who deserved it. You walked out and left me nothing but your broken nose, dripping blood, so that between my pale skin and blue eyes, my face resembled your soldier's flag hanging at half-mast. Or this addiction in my veins, blitzkrieg through my blood like a sewing machine needle suturing us together by our mistakes, or machine guns sewing bodies like seeds into the ground.
Over time, these stories felt industrial, like inheriting the friction of a rusting machine. I've never known how to deal with trauma correctly. Instead, trauma felt numb as a winter without poetry, and still slick from the soot of gasoline-doused roses, laying a thick paste over every Monet garden in living memory in efforts to recuperate the petals. You were what could have been lost. Preserving you means considering everything that happened between us
and moving on. I was born with my grandmother's eyes, 2 pools for the blue-collar, blue blood of a coal miner's daughter, frozen over in long Edinburgh winters as though storm clouds were my birthright. She gave me a book of war poems, the prelude to atheist psalms, and the lightning in her eye.
I come from a family of storytellers, solidifying our ideas in amber and oak so that tree rings will sing of our lives centuries from now. You ask me if I have my mother's eyes, and I'll tell you I have a hazel perspective, brown from the roots of my father's reasoning, and flecks of yellow from my mother's pride. It's why I stand up straight, willing to reach for the sun and acrobat flexibility, but even then, family has found a way to leave splinters, stories unabridged yet unspoken. Nowadays, I sleep with my eyes half open. Because I've forgotten how to trust. Mother, you never knew how to tell your backbreak stories. Loving is your strongest trait, generating a forest fire warmth. But people will always skirt the edges, afraid of getting burned or locked in the borderland of a campfire and an unforgiving nuclear war.
I inherited my grandfather's boxer knuckles with no golden gloves to fill, and itching beneath stitchwork scars to fight my way up from the bottom. He gave me a soldier's soul that I never had the guts to match. A hollow feeling in my chest and glassware bones beneath the pain of fractal phalanges in the cold that I will always be a disappointment.
We created a river between us, molten in certain seasons. My mother lacked the faculties to generate her own agency, so instead, my life was shaped by the dreams she never had. Her anger is a thumbprint on my fighting spirit. Her marks are like metal that mold onto everything that I do. We find ourselves redefining the broken tracks others have left for us.
I'm done trying to bleed your legacy from my veins.
Done with picking out shrapnel from manuscript paper.
Done staring into the mirror, searching for myself in my own eyes.
Done with hitchhiking on the spine of your insecurities. Done with shaping the fire into stories that didn't belong to us.
I am a soldier.
A storyteller, and I refuse to be a disappointment.
We weren't confused. Our hearts are giants.